Hi everyone, this is Jason from Edulogics, where we teach you logic behind things. So today we're starting a new series called Nursing Leadership Series, where we intend to interview some of the successful nurses across the world and share their journeys to inspire you in your nursing career. So to start this series, we have Anumol Joseph, who's a very close friend of mine, and she has kindly agreed to give us this interview from Wellington, New Zealand. And Anu is going to talk about her nursing journey and how she, landed her job in New Zealand and all the different experiences she had. So before we begin, Anu is a mental health nurse, and she did her master's in mental health nursing in India and thereafter pursued her abroad journey. So I would allow, I think, Anu to introduce herself. That would be the ideal case. So Anu, first of all, welcome to this channel and in this video. We really appreciate you taking time for this. I know you're very busy with kids, family, work, but I really appreciate this time that you have given to us. Would you like to introduce Anu yourself to everybody here?
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Jason, for the introduction. This is Anu, as Jason has already mentioned. I have completed my bachelor's from Madhya Pradesh, after which I took my master's in mental health nursing from Delhi. And I had a span of 10 years experience in the field of clinical education, research and administration, after which I decided to move to Australia and completed my bridging program, which was 3 months program, which involved 6 weeks of theory classes, followed by 6 weeks of clinical placement. After which I had come back to India and I started looking for jobs. That's it. That was my career span in a nutshell.
Okay, that's amazing. So you mentioned that after you had a good career in India, then you started thinking about moving to Australia, and then you mentioned that you did the bridging program. And what happened next? Why did you not continue with your Australian career? What are the circumstances that led to you to move to New Zealand?
Yeah, so I came back in 2020. At that time, I was just fortunate enough to come back and be with my family. Unfortunately, my paperwork got delayed. All the processing, immigration was quite slow due to the pandemic. So I started looking for other alternatives because since I knew that I have completed my bridging program, anyways, I will be entitled for the visa. But it's just that it took quite some time. So I started looking for jobs in New Zealand because that is one of the ways by which it is easy for us to move to Australia. And the time that we have that can be utilized properly. So I started searching for jobs in New Zealand, as I had one of my friends who was already working in New Zealand that proved to be helpful for me.
Okay.
I started for various job sites like Seek and Indeed, which was quite valuable for the job hunt.
Okay.
So that's how I, New Zealand, I came to New Zealand. I finished my New Zealand registration because I already had the new Australian registration. It just took 3 days for me to get the new registration. And then I had to apply for APC, which is called the Annual Practicing Certification.
Okay.
And after getting all these done, it was easy for me to get the job.
Okay. Yeah, so what Anu is mentioning is about the Trans-Tasman mutual recognition between Australia and New Zealand. So if you are a registered nurse in Australia, it's pretty easy for you to get your New Zealand registration, and you don't have to do any kind of specific training or course to get your New Zealand license and start practicing in New Zealand. Okay. So Anu, you mentioned that you found the job while being in India. Am I correct?
Absolutely. So as I was looking for jobs, so as I referred that I had a friend who was already working in New Zealand, and I had given couple of, I have applied through many of the online job portals like Seek and Indeed. That is how I got the offer letter by a reputed aged care facility. And I was, at that time I was in India, and they helped me by giving me the employee supplementary form, and I had initiated my visa process on my own.
Okay. So for all the people watching this video, it is, always get a lot of questions whether we can find a job when we are in India. Can we get a job, in Australia or New Zealand? So Anu is a live example of that. So there are a lot of recruitment agencies now open to take, virtual interviews. And if you're able to manage yourself in that interview, and you're able to get a good prospect like that, I think it's pretty much possible nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Anu, are you enjoying your current work in New Zealand as a registered nurse? And what do you like about it?
Jason, I love my job, and the life in New Zealand is absolutely amazing here. We have shifts, and I was fortunate enough where my shifts were, I can pick it up. So depending on that, I had the flexibility, the days which I feel is good enough for me and it is suitable to me, I used to pick those shifts.
Right.
And the roster according to that, where everybody used to put their preferences and pick up the shifts. But it depends on all the from organization to organization, whether it is a rostered shift or a rotational shift.
Yeah.
And because I have children, so I was given the privilege of picking up mornings and evenings, so I didn't want to take up the nights.
Okay.
So it was the way it catered to the needs which we had. So it was a good thing about that. And in New Zealand, it's it depends upon us. If you want to work overtime, you pick up those shifts.
Yeah.
So it's no fast rule. According to your needs, you can cater to the organization. You can have a rapport with them, and it works well for you. So it's not you don't feel the pressure that much, and you are able to grow professionally. Also in the respective areas, whichever you want to grow. There are regular on training, induction programs and continuing education program that keeps you abreast about all the recent changes.
Yeah.
That's something I love about New Zealand. You have a work-life balance. I mean, you can give priority to your family as well at the same time, and go professionally.
Right. So again, I think for our viewers, so those who are watching from countries like India, Nepal, or the Asian countries. So in these countries, generally people are required to work either full time, and there are very limited options in terms of opting for a part-time job or a casual job, which is not the case in countries like Australia and New Zealand. What Anu mentions, that she's a young mom, has kids, her hands are full, so she decided that I may not don't want to work full-time or part-time. I want to switch my days in a way that it's more suitable for your family. And that's what I think, even I feel, that a perfect work-life balance, and you can modify your work as per your personal needs as well. And it's all about getting that rapport and getting the right job for yourself, which suits everybody, not only yourself, your family, your goals, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel, Jason, that whoever, I mean, if you wish to, this is the right time for people to move to New Zealand than Australia, I feel, because, this is the government over here offers residency. So, you get it within short time, and that helps. It used to be at least a 2-year process formally, but now it's like, you get, in no time. So very less amount of time, say a couple of months, and you are already done with. And once you get your residency, you can pick up your shifts the way you want. It's very easy over here. So there's no mandatory, you need to come 40 hours, which was when initially we came, it was mandatory for us to pick the 40 hours. But now, once you get your residency, of that sort exists over here. So you can pick up the casual, you can do your part, whatever ways that suits you, you can pick up the shifts. That's the wonderful thing about New Zealand, where the government values your contribution to the healthcare, and they adjust with your times, and very accommodating.
That's amazing. No, that's what even nurses or mothers want, to be flexible and have the control over their hand, over their career and family, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, Anu. Anu, my next question would be: Can you tell our viewers about the average remuneration a nurse can earn in New Zealand? I understand that there is always overtime and the shifts that pay higher, but on an average, if you can give us a rough idea about the remuneration in New Zealand.
There are different levels, aged care facility as well as district court, which is the similar government job as in India, or overseas. So it depends upon it is categorized into various steps. So the step, the nurse who is just a new grad nurse that we call over here with the nursing, till the step 7 is the one who is having maximum experience, say 8 years and above come under the category of step 7. So you can expect about 70 and it can go up to 90. And if it is an on-call, it can even go 100. So 100 is per hour, and it's like 70 to 90,000 per annum. So it depends upon which is step that you fit into, depending upon the is decided. Also, there's a strike going on, and which has led to the implementation of more wages for nurses. Now, at least it's 45 per hour for nurses in New Zealand, which will be which is going to be implemented soon within a couple of months.
Okay, that's in New Zealand dollars.
Yes, absolutely.
And Anu, you have had a long journey, I would say, from India, then to Australia, then to New Zealand, and now you're kind of feeling settled. So what is your advice, or what is your mantra to success that you would like to share with our fellow young nurses who are watching you right now?
I feel that initial hard work is something that, you have to put on more of your time and effort initially when you make the decision to move to Australia or New Zealand. Once you come over here, it's a little difficult, the switch, the cultural shock, you adapting to the new culture. But, hard work and presence of mind, keeping yourself, calm and working under pressure, keeping the the tranquility always maintained, that will help you to overcome all the obstacles and help you to be successful. So it's all about hard work, your dedication and commitment. Nothing is impossible. That is something that I want to share with you. We will be having a lot of we give up when we see the cumbersome paperwork. That much is the paperwork that we do. But then after the end of the tunnel, there is always light. So everybody can do it. I think it's the hard work, and then it will pay off.
Yeah, and absolutely, I love the fact that you said presence of mind, and specifically in your case, because you did your bridging program, you went back. It was the COVID time. You did not just wait and think about let the COVID finish and then only I'll start my next step. You immediately looked for the options. Okay, New Zealand is open. What can I do to get into a job? And which is awesome. That's what you need, presence of mind, most importantly. Yeah. So I think thank you so much, Anu, for giving us this brief interview, and I'm sure that many of the nurses who are willing to or have the dream to move to New Zealand will definitely benefit from this information. And probably later on we can do also a video about what if a nurse wants to become a registered nurse in New Zealand without having an AU registration, Australian registration. And I'm aware that there is CAP programs there, and probably in your next holiday I'll hook you on to one of the video like that.
Thank you so much, Jessin, for having me on board. And hope Jessin continues to make the impact of educating and empowering nurses and helping them. She plays a pivotal role in bringing a lot of nurses to New Zealand and Australia. Continue to do the good work. All the best.
Thank you so much, Anu. Thank you. Appreciate it.